Welcome to Tea Time.
Thank you. Tea Time. That's what it's called? Oh, I love it.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Tea Time.
Acoya.
I'm so excited.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a pop R&B artist, singer-songwriter, producer a little bit too, but I'm originally from San Francisco. But I've been out here in LA for like 3 years doing my thing, dropping music. I'm recently signed to abs-cbn Music International out here. They're over here in the house. And yeah, it's been a great time with them so far. We can get into a little bit more detail soon, but yeah.
Really excited to have you. Thank you for joining the Green Tea Room.
Of course.
You're a pop and R&B artist based here. Your music lives at the intersection of confidence, vulnerability, and emotional honesty. You're building towards something really big, and we're just really excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much. We're gonna cheers these?
Let's cheers. So,
cheers.
Shout out.
Cheers to the green tea. Shout out.
Shout out to the Green Tea Room. Shout out to Malaya Coffee, Filipino owned coffee shop in LA.
That's good. Really good.
First time having pandan, right?
Yeah. First time.
How are you liking it?
We have the cake too.
We do.
Pandan cake.
We're gonna have you try it because.
Yeah, I'll try it on camera for the interview. Yeah.
So, talk a little bit about your background. I wanted to ask you this first question. So, SoundCloud is such a breeding ground for up and coming artists, and where many have gotten their start. And you actually had a moment on SoundCloud for a little bit.
I most certainly did.
Was that where you first started learning how to produce and songwrite?
Yeah, so I started making music at the beginning of college. This was back in 2019. It's late 2018, early 2019. Yeah, I just found a love for creating music, and at the time, like there's Spotify, there's Apple Music, but to me, it's like that seems so far away, But the most accessible thing, like you said, like where like a breeding ground for like upcoming artists was SoundCloud, and like I had friends that were also making music just kind of for fun. Just like like why not just post it on SoundCloud, and you never know what could happen. So I was posting on SoundCloud for like a while. I probably did that for like a solid 2-3 years before any of my songs ever hit like wide streaming like services. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I like did decently well. Like I was more like contemporary R&B back then, so it was like a bit more of an underground kind of sound compared to what I do now. So I made a lot of like internet friends just doing that too. And this was like during COVID at some point too, like during that whole time. So I was just like, in my parents' basement, just like posting on SoundCloud, like, yeah. So definitely felt like that was a big, important part of my career, just like kind of the DIY of it all, being able to just do it all myself and, learn how to produce or get YouTube type beats, but then learn how to record myself on FL Studio, and, like that was definitely helped my confidence a lot, and like kind of learned what I should be doing. So
was it a lot of like YouTube tutorials?
A lot of YouTube University. Like it was
for sure.
Like, seriously, like I feel like you could learn literally anything from YouTube. Shout out to YouTube, unpaid sponsorship. But I learned so much just Googling or looking up exactly what I needed to know. Like how do you plug an interface into your computer? Like just like easy stuff looking at it now, but it's like allowed me to be self-sufficient and like to create a lot. Once you kind of know how to do it yourself.
Do you remember like the first moment you released something that was entirely yours? Like what did that feel like?
Yeah, earliest thing I can think about that I released was actually, it was like a whole album almost. The thing that sparked my music career was like my first like tough breakup experience at the beginning of college. Before this point, I had like dabbled in like writing music. Like me and my friends would just like car freestyles, just like messing around. But I had never like sat down and tried to write a song.
Yeah.
And so the morning, I remember it was like a breakup text that I got from that girl. Yeah. And then like during like winter break, and I just woke up to it, and I felt so just like frustrated and upset and sad, and I didn't know what to do. So I just like wrote a bunch of songs, and like I had never written a song, but I think I wrote like 5 songs I think that morning. Like it was crazy.
Dang.
And so so the earliest thing I remember releasing was, to circle back to your question, was like a whole album of where those feelings that came with that whole situation, because it was all feelings I didn't know what to do with, so I just started writing. It ended up being like a 13-track album, like with interludes. It's so bad. Like I listened to it within the last 3 years or so, and I was like, this is not good. But like it was a necessary step, because also when I did that, a lot of my friends were like, because it was about like the girl, and they were all like, yo, you shouldn't. My friends were telling me like, you shouldn't release this. Like this is like messed up. Like you shouldn't be, And so, but I'm glad I didn't listen, because if I had listened, then I probably wouldn't be here, So yeah,
definitely. But it was definitely like the start.
It was a really important start for me.
Helped your creative juices flow.
Absolutely.
And you had a lot of musical influences growing up. You had Michael Jackson, John Legend, Justin Timberlake, Justin Bieber.
The Justin, of course.
Of course. Yeah. When you stepped into your own artistry and musical journey, how did those early influences show up in what you were creating, and how would you say those show up in your sound today as well?
Yeah, a lot of my earlier stuff I mentioned earlier was like very contemporary R&B, like kind of underground R&B, and so like the Justins actually didn't become a reference until a little bit later, which is like surprising to hear like now how much it's influenced, because I was really studying them like more recently, like in the last few years I was really studying them to like add the pop element, because I was like very like Bryson Tiller was the first artist that like I really got attached to, like,
and it was a girl that you broke up with that introduced you.
Yeah, actually, that's actually, how do you know that? Like the girl,
I know the lore, babe.
That's actually crazy.
Know that you also have danced a little bit.
I do dance a little bit, yeah.
Did you have like any favorite songs or like choreographies that inspired you as a kid from some
Yeah, so I started adding dance to the repertoire over the last like year and a half or so. So it's pretty new to me, and I love to dance. Like every time I go to class, I have so much fun. But growing up, I loved learning all the Michael Jackson choreography. For one Halloween, I like tried to learn like the Thriller, you know, like choreo, and even like as far back as Ice Ice Baby and like MC Hammer, like Can't Touch This, like that music video. Like I was deep into the like trying to learn those.
You knew ball.
I was low key, like. So it was definitely one of those things that I because also like, you know, growing up, it's like your parents, when they see you kind of like do that, they like hype you up, you know, they're like like. So when I was learning the choreo, it's like the response I get from family friends is like, oh, like so cute or whatever, and it's like, and so it just kind of made me want to just do it more. So at a certain point in my life, I got really shy though, and then I stopped doing it, and then now I'm back to it. So, but definitely growing up, it was a lot of learning the choreo, and it was just fun.
I'm traveling a little bit forward now. You grew up in San Francisco, graduated from UC Davis with a mechanical engineering degree, and then pivoted to music full time. Yeah, insane. Like that's truly something that takes, you know, risk, a lot of heart, and like just true like belief in yourself to do that.
Thank you.
What was the moment you knew you had to like bet on yourself? Was there like a conversation or a feeling that kind of like made it click for you?
Yeah, the thing that I can trace it back to, well, so I decided that I was doing music all throughout college, so like from that freshman year breakup point, and then through COVID, you know, quarantine, and I had nothing but time to make music. Yeah. And that's where I really found like my love for the craft and like learning how to get better. Before I graduated in 2022, at that point I had decided that that's what I wanted to do. You know, thankfully, and I'm so grateful, I had the full support of my parents to pursue this, and they're still as supportive as ever. Shout out to you, Mom and Dad. If I could point it back to like a moment I like knew that this is what I wanted to do, it was so I was mechanical engineer, and you know, before you get out of college, you start taking interviews, you know, job interviews, and I was seeing all my classmates like get interviews at Tesla and like Honda and like, you know, all these big companies. So like, okay, like I should probably, you know, even though I love music and this is what I want to do, I should probably just, you know, see what the job market's about, try and see where I can interview. Maybe I love it, you know. So I took an interview at this, they make like gimbals, you know, for like cameras, for the NFL was one, and for like news copters, like where they mount the camera. They also had a bunch of like government contracts for the army, like they built turrets, like it was kind of nuts. I pulled up to the interview and like I'm walking through and they show all this stuff, and I took the interview and it went really well actually. Like I had a good GPA and like took the right classes and everything, and so like they were interested, like I think they wanted to hire me. But I did the interview, and like I think midway through the interview I was all like, I don't want to be here right now. Like I want to go make music right now. I do not want to be here. I left that interview, I was like, the interview went great, but I don't think this is what I want to do with my life.
It's like that anymore. Sudden realization, like, oh shoot.
And then they emailed me back like a day or two later, like, we'd love to have you back again for follow up. And I was like, I ghosted. I was like,
the ghost is crazy.
Me, I was like, I don't want to do it. So I may have replied back just out of courtesy, like, I'm not interested or whatever. But
in that moment, it's like what your heart wants.
Yeah. So I think that all like just confirmed it for me, that moment. It's crazy.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that. Like, honestly, like, I feel like I've felt that a little bit too, of course, being Filipino and being like some sort of like parental pressure as well. Like for me, like it was to go the direction of becoming a nurse, and I didn't want to do that at all. So kind of like in college, I did kind of the same thing where I was like, maybe healthcare is not for me. Yeah. And then ended up doing music, but more music business side. I get you with
everything happens for a reason, and look where we are now.
Definitely, here we are.
On the green tea room. We're at tea time right now. What are you talking about?
And everyone else in this room, we're all doing things things. You went through LAAMP, which is a 9-month intensive like music boot camp with one of the guys behind some of the biggest pop records.
Yeah.
And he's also the founder, one of the founders, right? Hermansen.
Hermansen, he is one half of the duo Stargate. So the Stargate, they were both like our mentors. Like they were around a whole lot. So the other one is Mikkel, Eriksen. They're both incredible. I mean, they're behind So Sick by Neo, Diamonds, Rihanna, like Beyonce, To the Left, like all those big hits you know we had growing up is them. So it was really crazy to get that opportunity to be mentored by them and to do this program. Unfortunately, actually, they announced this year that program no longer, they're ending. True. Yeah, their last year was the 5th year. I was the 3rd year. And Jamiko was over here too. He was the year, he was year 4 actually.
Oh, shoot.
So it's kind of small world, you know, we're both LAAMP and now we're both AMI. Like it's kind of crazy.
It's like full circle moment.
Yeah. LAAMP, it was an incredible opportunity. Should I like elaborate?
Go for it.
Cool.
We're talking tea.
We're talking tea. Oh, I didn't really catch that in the beginning. The tea time. I swear I write songs. I graduated in 2022 from UC Davis, and then after like knowing now that music is what I wanted to do, I kind of knew like it's just kind of known in the ethos that like you go to LA, like that's where everything kind of is. And so I knew I wanted to make it out here some way somehow, but I didn't know anybody in the music industry. I had no connections. I was like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. And so, but one of the things that I learned from YouTube, actually there was a content creator on YouTube who was like, helping young artists like figure out how to build their audience and like do that kind of thing. And one of the things he suggested on the video was find a bunch of artists like kind of in your area around your size, and then a little bit higher, like have a tier list of like the levels of that like artists who are like kind of like you genre wise, and then make a Spotify playlist of all of them and then post it on your story and then tag them all. So then you're like all in their inboxes. And then if they repost it, then it gives you an opportunity to like connect with them, but also with their audience, So I was doing that like consistently. Like it was on my to-do list every day was to like get 10 artists and research them, like get their name, try and find their email, their manager's email, like the people they've worked with, like every piece, every little detail. And so I still have this spreadsheet. It's like an Excel sheet of like all these people. And one of the people I found, her name is Anusha. She's incredible, but she went to LAAMP year 1. And so when I was doing research into her, I was like, oh, like what is this program? And it ended up being LAAMP. And so, like when I first applied, it felt like kind of like too good to be true, because I applied and the first thing you do when you apply is put your name, your email, and your Spotify link, and that's it. It's like, so I was like, oh, this is not going to be anything. I almost didn't apply because it was so easy. And so I'm glad I did. And then 2 weeks later, I get an email like, oh, like you're in the next step, and it's like a questionnaire, and it's like asking you like, where do you want to be in 5 years? How do you envision your career going? Like that kind of thing. And so I replied, and then another week later, they're like, oh, you made it to the 3rd round. Like it's an interview with Stargate. And so I get on this interview, and I'm like nervous as hell because it's like they're sitting in their studio with all their platinum records and Grammys behind them. I'm like, this is crazy, and it's just a Zoom, And then that went great, and then they accepted me like another week later. But the tuition was too expensive for me because I just graduated college. Yeah. So I told them I can't go, and then they emailed back another week later like, we'll give you a full ride. So I got a full ride. Tuition to LAAMP.
That's what happens when you take a chance on yourself.
Absolutely, and it ended up being like the biggest step in my career. Like it's the whole reason I'm here, honestly.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. Yeah. Glad you're here.
Yeah, no, it's So it was a really crazy, just like whirlwind of making it out here some way, somehow.
Definitely. Yeah. What would you say is something like that tour pushed you on the most during your time at LAAMP?
The biggest thing that I really take into consideration whenever I make music, especially, that he enforced to me and to everyone, is that the only thing that matters is what you think of a song. You know what I mean? If you believe in the song enough, then it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. If you like it, that's the whole game. And so he enforced that a lot, and I took that into consideration when I would write songs, like in the studio, but also out of the studio. Like when we would finish a song, like if I love it and someone doesn't, like, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And that kind of shields you from all like whatever negativity that is out there, It's just like, so it was definitely like a good, just kind of internal system to have that he helped create for me. So definitely really grateful for Stargate and Tour. And Mikkel, no, they're great.
Loverboy also came out during that period. Like looking back, like putting that song out, like what did that teach you about yourself, like as an artist?
Yeah, that one was such a fun song to make too. The only release I did like while I was in LAAMP, because like LAAMP would like we make tons of songs, so I wasn't planning to release anything. What pushed me to release it actually, so this was like festival season, like in 2024, like Coachella season.
Okay.
And PAXN actually was trying to do like their own festival experience kind of thing. And so they started this thing called the PAXN Collective. They selected, I think it's 2 artists on the West Coast, 2 on the East, so 4 in total. And you shoot a music video, give you clothes, you do photos, and you do like a live streamed show in their flagship store. It was another one of those things that was such an easy application, I almost didn't do it. I sent them a few songs, I sent them like my usernames and all that, and I ended up getting selected like one of 4, like nationally. It was kind of crazy. Like it was the first like thing that like achievement other than LAAMP that like after I got to LA, the first like thing that I was like, oh shit, like it's PAXN, you know, I shop their stuff. So, but they wanted to use Loverboy as the song, like in the, because they were going to use it for their like promo too. Like they were going to use it in some of their commercials and like ads that they run on TikTok and all that. But I was like, well, if they're going to use it in all this stuff, I need to have it like out so people can like find it. I only dropped it because PAXN wanted to use it in their stuff. Like I really wasn't planning to drop anything, but I'm really glad that that was kind of like a whole stepping stone, because it also started my relationship with PAXN, and they did the soundstage with courtesy of like of PAXN too. It was the sponsored set, fitted me up for Coachella. Like it was a whole like, so my relationship with them has been really great.
Yeah.
So, shout out to PAXN.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Shout out to PAXN.
Yeah. So that's the whole reason Loverboy is out. I mean, it probably would have dropped at some point, but like it dropped when it did because of that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It helped a lot, and it seemed like a perfect fit. I was doing my research, I was looking into it. I feel like
did you see the music video?
I did watch it.
That's crazy. It's pretty cool.
Perfect fit, honestly.
My hair was kind of rough, but it looked good. The video looked good.
That's all that matters, period. You're part of the very first wave of artists signed to abs-cbn Music International, which is so huge.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
What has it meant to you to debut under a company with that kind of legacy for Filipino artists on a global scale?
I mean, I'm just so grateful that I'm here, you know, with them, and everything that we've been doing, I'm like so excited about, and to be a part of like such a huge, like you said, like just like so many legacies come out of abs-cbn and what they're capable of, and I'm just really grateful to be here. And it's been especially important to me because like growing up, I wasn't raised in like a Filipino household, so I don't really know any like Tagalog or like, you know, cultural like food or that kind of stuff. A lot of like the shows that we've done like have been like Filipino festivals and stuff, and I've gotten to like be around the culture so much more, and I'm learning so much. Even just like hanging out with everybody, like I'm learning, you know, tito and tita. Like I didn't say that before, you know what I mean? So like now, like even my accent's pretty good now. So
okay, you know that was the accent.
So
you got it.
So like it's been like really cool for me to like know that side of my heritage, because I mainly know like my Dutch side. I've spent every summer going to visit my family in Holland, so I know that side very well. My Filipino side I know a little bit less of, because my dad had the same experience that he was told his teachers would tell his parents growing up to not teach him Tagalog or anything. And this is back in like 70s. I don't know when my dad was born. 70s, early 80s. And so they would tell, he was like, you know, he didn't get to grow up around that much of that either. So even for him to like be on this journey with me has been really cool.
Oh,
and so hopefully we'll go to the Philippines soon. It'll be my first time and his first time to go to the Philippines. So like that would be really just amazing. Moment. So like me and him have shared a lot of moments about like that aspect of it too.
Wait, I love that. Stop. Yeah, no, that's amazing that you're able to also like share that connection with your dad and going through that journey together.
Yeah,
so I love that. It's beautiful.
It really has been beautiful.
Amazing. What has the support from the Filipino community meant to you throughout this entire journey as well?
I feel like the word that comes to mind is like accepted, I guess, you know, because like I haven't been around a lot of Filipino people, but it's like I feel like as a culture they're so like they really rally and support their own, you know what I mean? And so, and I've gotten so much of that already, like just in the, you know, few months that we've been working on stuff, and like the few festivals that I've done, like it's been like so cool to see the people that come out and support. Like they don't know me, they don't know my music, like, you know what I mean? And so it has really meant a lot to just kind of see people that like look like me too, and like are supporting, you know.
No,
it's really
amazing. So from the Grammy U soundstage to the abs-cbn Music International launch party to Diaspora Amplified, you've been on some really meaningful stages recently. Is there a moment from any of those performances that you keep like coming back to, and what do you want people to walk away from knowing Acoya like after seeing you perform?
That's a good question. I have done a lot of shows this year, huh? I definitely feel like the launch was a big one. That one was like just a lot of fun too. Like that one was like the launch party as a party was just so much fun. And that was just like me and Jamiko both did like our singles. Like we were just, yeah. But I think like that was kind of the moment of like I've arrived in a sense. You know what I mean? Like it almost feels like I'm debuting. I've been doing this for years, but it almost felt like I was debuting. You know what I mean?
Like having a little moment.
Exactly. Yeah. So like that was, I think that one I think about quite frequently, what that was like. And my dad was there also, some of my like closest friends there. Like it was so great.
I mean, it got me emotional, like being able to see like again like this first wave of like you and Jamiko like just taking the stage and really helping push forth like Filipino talent like on a global scale. And that
this is like our year, yo. Like
no, for real.
Seriously, like
let's go.
Like, actually, it's been so cool to see all the Filipino acts that have been incredibly successful this year and just in recent years. It's just like it seems like people are just starting to catch on. You know what I mean? Like that's
absolutely.
What it, like Beanie, like Coachella, like that was insane.
Only up
that
here.
tent was packed.
It
like,
really was.
It was packed. Like I was like, there were flags all up in the air. I was like, this is like pride. Like
it really was. It got me teared up. I'm not gonna lie.
It was amazing. It was
so good.
So it's an honor to be a part of that.
I know you mentioned this, like Filipino music wasn't something like you grew up with, but you're now part of a movement that's bringing it to the world, which is amazing. Are there any like Filipino artists that you've been listening to?
Honestly, I've tapped into a good amount of BGYO lately.
Okay.
Like, their most recent EP is like super fire.
Love.
On-demand EP, like and Jamiko stuff, like the unreleased stuff I've heard.
Heck yeah.
You're incredible. So definitely like them, and then Beanie. Like after I was at Coachella, like I tapped into a lot of their stuff. So it's been really cool to hear all like all the talent, just the Filipino talent. I really want to do a song with BGYO. I think that'd be cool. I think I could be a great sixth member, don't you think? John Conception, actually. Hold on, I gotta. John, if you're watching this, man, because I'm such a fan. So like I've been listening to John since I was in college, and it's crazy how I found him too, because I was using type beats, right? In college.
Yeah.
And one of the type beats, the producer also produced a bunch of stuff for John, and so I came across him in like a playlist of like stuff the producers also produced. And I was listening and I just went down the rabbit hole, and like, man, he's incredible. So I've been a fan. Like I used to like study his music, like getting off the bus and going to school and getting home. Like I would just be listening to it all the time. And to this day, like last year, his album was in my top 5 most streamed albums of the year. Like, so it's really cool. I really want to like meet him and work with him and just pick his brain. I think he's dope.
Manifest, put it out into the world.
Yeah. Anyway.
Please.
Anyway, yeah.
Amazing.
No, he's amazing.
I'm manifesting that for you. That's awesome. I know you mentioned this in a conversation with Ashley Meta.
Yeah. Shout out to Ashley.
Just
Love
basically
her.
like how imposter syndrome is in the music industry, especially and in creative fields. It can hit you. It can really hit you like a truck. How do you silence that noise? Like what does that look like for you? Like what does showing up for yourself actually look like on the days that it's hard?
Imposter syndrome often shows up in more like degrees of intensity. Because and I think what's changed is not like if it'll happen, because I feel like it's one of those things that that a lot of people will carry for a very long time, and I still carry, like I have that sometimes, imposter syndrome still, but I think it's what changes is how much it affects you and how much it will or won't debilitate you. And so I've learned that you just have to just push through it, just do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like even if you feel like you're not enough, you're not ready, like you just have to do it anyway and then just find out. And so I think just base like mentality has kept its effect at bay, and it just diminishes and diminishes and diminishes the more you like act for yourself, like the more you keep your greater goal in mind and then go do it anyway is the most important part, and then it just starts to fade away and eventually it'll disappear entirely.
What's a stage that you dream of performing at one day?
Probably Chase Center in San Francisco, if we're talking like arenas, because I grew up growing up in the Bay, I went to a lot of Warriors games. It would probably be Oracle if it's still operational.
Got you.
But if it's not, then Chase Center, because I also went to a lot of games there. Because I was a big basketball player growing up too. Like that was before Music Dreams, it was Hoop Dreams. So it's being so for real. So I'll go to the games, but then when music kind of came into the picture, I would imagine myself instead performing in that arena. And so probably Chase Center, to be home in San Francisco and do that show. Yeah.
Any dream festivals?
Coachella.
Period.
For sure.
Speak it out to the universe.
Coachella.
But what are some of your other like dream collaborations? And John Conception.
Pharrell, Timbaland, It's like anyone that's worked with Justin Timberlake, like those two, like John Bellion. John Bellion would be super sick.
Oh yeah, that would be fire.
And then as an artist, yeah, definitely Justin Bieber. That'd probably be them.
I can hear the influence in your music.
Yeah.
Of course, like we'll put that in.
Pharrell would be so sick. I want a 4 count in the beginning of my song.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
So now we're gonna talk about D.U.I. a little bit.
Oh.
New single.
Yeah.
Love.
First single with AMI.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Amazing. It's huge.
Thank you.
D.U.I. Let's hit that. So D.U.I. feels like the beginning of something bigger. It's the first spark before the come down in getting caught in someone so intensely.
Yeah.
With this upcoming EP, without giving too much away, like what can you tell us about where the story goes from there?
Yeah, D.U.I. is kind of like, the way I've seen it is kind of like the start of the night, of an encounter with somebody. And then the rest of the EP kind of follows a trail of like emotional aftermath from that interaction. Because the D.U.I., you know, if you streamed it, which you should, is really like there's a lot of tension and like emotion behind it, but it's very sexy. Like it's kind of the vibe. The emotions that follow are a lot more vulnerable and more longing and more like kind of figuring it out on your own, like what your feelings are. And that's it's kind of like a hangover. You know what I mean? Like it's the aftermath. That's kind of where the story is going. I've always felt like I've been the person who falls quickly and very deeply. You know, and that's historically, that's kind of like the experiences I've had. And so the EP is kind of a reflection of that, just figuring out your emotions after that initial encounter.
Okay.
Which was D.U.I. So
spicy.
Got a little storyline weaved in there. Yeah.
You got it down. No love. I was able to give it a listen and got me feeling some feels. Loved. I love listening to it, and
thank you.
I was able to catch a performance at the Troubadour as well, and the energy was everything. Like with that song as well, you opened up with it, and I could feel that in the crowd, and yeah, it was such a vibe.
Thank you.
Production on D.U.I. I feel like has, it carries such late night, like emotionally charged, like energy, really vibey. How did you and Scorpion Vision go about co-producing the track to build that atmosphere, like sonically?
Yeah, I actually produced the first demo of it, and so it was actually because I was listening to, funny enough, it's an album that John Conception has a credit on. It's a Chris Brown album, and there's a song deeper in the album called Hit My Line, and it's the same kind of club atmosphere kind of production, because it was my hype song in the morning. When I would wake up, I would listen to that song and just like get into the day, I wanted my own version of that song, and so I was kind of like looking through like synth pluck sounds, and that was like that little dun, like was the first like sound. It was like a one-shot sound, and then I just made the melody dun 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 dun, and then I started from there. It was literally just like that little melody loop for a while, and then I was just, the first thing that came out of my mouth was, baby, I can keep it real warm through the winter. Like that was like kind of all just happened. And so I feel like those plucks, like having that Chris Brown inspiration really came full circle then when it came to like the drums and like the bass lines and like stuff like that. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, like having like knowing what you want kind of thing. And because I was working by myself to start, knowing what I wanted was so easy because I could just do it, it's that connection between like hearing it in your head and being able to create it tangibly. So I made that first demo, and then a lot of times what I'll do, because I know enough production to like get to a really solid demo spot, but I know that there's people that I work with that can do it better, that could take it even to the next level. And so Scorpion Vision, Scorpio, or I just call him Isaac, is my homie Isaac. He's also my manager, actually. But he's an incredible producer, writer, visionary. He's amazing. So I took it to him. I was like, he could kill this, So I gave that to him, and then we fiddled with like some of the drum patterns and like what the bass sound was, and like kind of just went from there. And we landed at the song you hear today.
That advice from Tor, your mentor, that you mentioned in a conversation with Ashley Mehta, which you mentioned, he said, like, don't let anyone shoot down your authenticity.
Yeah.
How intentional?
I love the way you worded that. That's not even what I said earlier, but shoot down your authenticity that's a bar. I like that.
Thank you. How intentional were you about holding on to that while making this upcoming EP?
A lot of the songs actually that are on this EP were from that time when I was first being mentored by Tor. So a lot of that advice was like straight from his voice to my head to the song, you know what I mean? So it was as potent as it ever was, getting that advice then. And so I think definitely that advice played such a huge role when creating these songs. I mean, also writing them at the time, I didn't know where they would end up landing, like where they would be a single, because some of those songs are like almost 3 years old. So like then at the time I didn't know if they were gonna even ever come out, you know. So now looking back at them and being able to package them into a single project, that advice is as more important as ever, because like these songs are like old, but I love them, you know. But it's like I don't know how people would react to them now versus when I, you know, first made them. So it's like, but like again, I love them, so that's what matters.
Oh, definitely. And it's your first EP.
That's my first EP, ever. Like,
what song is playing in the background when you get pulled over for a DUI?
what's that TikTok sound? Mrs. Officer by Lil Wayne.
I'm dead.
In actuality, I'd probably be a lot more freaked out. Probably DUI too.
Even your new EP.
The whole EP is gonna
EP is gonna be the vibe.
The whole EP is gonna play from front to back while I'm getting pulled over. I'm not even gonna turn on the music. You're gonna pull me over and be like, "You like this one? You like this song?"
Thank you so much for
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, this was so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Till next time. Wait, I didn't get to open this.
Fondant cake taste test.
I already opened it. And on taste cake test.
How was it?
That's good.
Yeah.
It's like just eating a sponge.
It's literally a sponge.
It's like evaporates in your.
Dude, it's fire. I for some reason can't get mine open right now.
You need help?
Yes, please. My faves, honestly. To like
only
snack
80
on.
calories too. I'm gonna eat a bunch of these.
Period.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Go stream my song D.U.I on all streaming platforms wherever you listen to your music, and connect with me on social media platforms at Acoya Music. That's ACOYA Music.
Cheers.
Until next time.